CSA scores or anything else, and that you're also a legal resident status. Now, one thing that most people don't consider about this, because this is also Homeland Security, is you must have some type of work termination precautions. And work termination precautions is just as simple as having a little sheet of paper, and let's say you're ready to leave and you're checking out and saying, I'm out of here, I'm tossing your keys and everything else. So before you go, I need you to just fill this out. And it could be just little 3 questions. What did you like about your job? What didn't you like about your job? And what improvements would you make? This is just to make certain that you're not going out postal, that we have some kind of knowledge about it prior to you leaving the company. So all part of Homeland Security. Unauthorized access. Here, we are a controlled facility. We are a Homeland facility, okay, Tier 1. Okay, by being a controlled facility, you have to have your access locked at any time. If somebody is not here, if it's after business hours, it has to be locked, has to be secured. Has to have at least 2 entrances to it, okay? You have to have periodic inspections on a monthly inspection of everything that's in good shape, anything that needs to be repaired, and if anything is repaired, you need to keep a lifetime list of any repairs that's been done to the facility out there. Also, make certain that all your vehicles are locked anytime that you get out of the vehicles. Chalk blocks are down. Now, chalk blocks have now changed to wheel stops, okay, so that's a change. And you need to have a list of customers or vendors that are allowed on the premises. Okay, now that's usually going to be the delivery companies, FedEx, First, Federal Express, United Postal Service, okay? And you may have Orkin that services you once a month, okay? So you got a list of those vendors. If anybody else comes in, they must have some kind of sign-in sheet, sign in, check out, and let them know that, hey, listen, if you see a customer pass this specific line here, that you go out there and immediately confront them, let them know it's a secure facility. I'm going to have to ask you to pull up front, or if you don't have any business, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. And if they don't leave within 30 seconds, you pick up the phone and call local PD. They will come out immediately. There will not be any questions, and I can flash the number of times that I've had that happen. So be aware of that. Okay. Also be aware of anybody that's just loitering around, okay? Same situation from there. Okay, en route security. All right, number 1, you don't pick up hitchhikers. Okay, that's a DOT requirement. All right.
Dogs.
All right.
Rich picked up a dog.
Come on, Snoopy, get in the truck. Yeah.
He did.
He did. All right. So the big thing here is all of our piping and everything is exposed. Okay, so you can walk around the truck every single time that you get out of the truck. Feet hit the ground, your chalk blocks go down. You do a walk around your truck, you lock it up, you go into the post office, you go into the bank, you go into the restaurant. Your truck has to be minimum 50 feet away from the structure where you're parking at. It needs to be out away from the general public, okay? If you're inside, you should be able to see it from the outside at that time. And lock it up. When you come back out, you immediately do a walk around your truck again to see if there's anything odd and suspicious at that time. If you do, document it, let your supervisor know. And routing. Now, do you do routing presently, or is it just?
We do. We put our own. We put them in route, but we'll be using this computer system by next year.
The only thing about this on routing is this. When you go to the post office, or if you go to lunch or something like that and meet your wife or meet one of your buddies and everything else, don't let them know where you're going. Just say, hey, listen, I got some runs I got to make to the north end of the county. Don't tell them specifically where you're going. Don't tell them what your next delivery is or who you're delivering to. Okay? And we are a Class 2 gas, but we're one of the safer Class 2 gases, so our requirements for recording that information and reporting are different. Now, if you're a Class 1, okay, we get back to dynamite and blasting agents and everything else, you have to have 24-hour two-way communication. So you have to have those radios in there. For if you deviate any more than 1/4 mile off your usual route, you have to let your dispatcher know what's going on. Well, this is a Class 2 gas, and our safety percentage and everything else, you only have to check in 3 times during the day. So you're here in the mornings, okay? You usually get a telephone call anyway saying, hey, listen, this is what you've got. and you're back at the end of the day. So that takes care of all our requirements as far as reporting on the route. But if you do make any changes, let your person in the office know so they actually know that there's been a change. So if you get a suspected leak, and here's where it happens, suspected leak means you have to treat that just like somebody hollering fire in a theater. And when they do, if you're at the north side of the county, okay, then you have to secure whatever you're doing in a safe condition to leave that customer in, not finished, but leave them in a safe condition, and then immediately go to wherever to take care of that problem, that suspected leak. That's priority number one for anybody in the company. Okay? Now, when that happens, as soon as you do, your supervisor should know, and the CSR, if they don't call you directly, the CSR should have known about it too. So that also takes care of the deviation of routes. Okay, again, don't talk to strangers, be aware of suspicious activity. And the last one is employee awareness. Okay, now, you have to be specifically aware of your threats. And that's one of the reasons why you need to go over your hazardous materials plan each year, annually, with customers. Okay, review your security plan. Okay, if there's no changes, it's not a problem. The only thing that on your security plan is you just change your cover page. Instead of January 2020, you put in January 2021. Even though there's no changes, at least you reviewed it and it has it on the front. Consult for any type of questions with your supervisors before you make any changes. You've got practically a 25-foot no-fly zone around your trucks. Okay, 25 feet means no smoking, no sparks, no fire, no nothing else. Okay, vehicular traffic, there shouldn't be anybody within 15 feet, but you want to keep them within that 25 feet. So that big 25 feet circle, be aware of your hazard zone. Try to park somewhere away from everybody else to make certain that you have it from there. So any question about the 5 sections of the DOT security plan? All right. We don't have to worry about that because nobody pays attention to the orange, yellow, whatever, you know. So here's your policy and procedure manual. We've already talked about it a couple of times. Always review your policy and procedure manual. Should be done annually. That should be the time that you're going to get updates from me in February. So 1st of March, be a good time to have a meeting. Say, okay, this is the changes that are come up. This is changes in 54, 58 DOT and security plans. All right, so here's your deal. You followed company policy and procedures. You've done your DOT compliance. You've read and kept up on your SDS forms. You've always acted within your knowledge base. You've loaded your product, secured it correctly, made certain everything's correct according to shipments. You've asked any questions and got answers before you make your attempt to make any deliveries or do any type of task. Prepare for all emergencies and keep your eyes open at all times. So, this is going to be the last thing. They use the word terrorist now, pretty much drop of a hat, but anytime anybody's going to do something stupid, okay, you can't stop stupid, it's going to happen. But this does not fit any preconceived profiles. It could be your pastor, it could be your school teacher, it could be your next door neighbor that just goes off wing one day and becomes stupid, and they're going to do something to you. So be aware of that. And the last thing is, you are the professional. Anytime that anybody sees you, when you've got Powerzone and propane on the front, no matter how long you've been working or anything else, you've been specifically trained for the task that you're out there to do. Okay, you're the professional. Don't book anything else. And when you're talking to a customer or you're talking to somebody else, and you're doing your job according to code and policies and procedures, you're doing it for their safety, not for their convenience. You're doing it for their safety. And you're the professional. And if you tell them, I'm sorry, I can't do this, well, why can't you? This is state code. Okay, don't get in an argument, he said, she said, or anything else. You're the professional. You control the entire situation, and if you have to shut it down, you shut it down and inform Scott. He would much rather hear it that way than it come around the other way and create a whole new hornet's nest. So, any questions about that? All right, so here you go. You got a 30-question handout right there. So, I'm gonna give you a few minutes
Good
to.
luck, Ben.
Yeah, welcome to the group, yes. They look like the last one, yeah.
From earlier or something that
No.
I missed.
No, same format, just different wording.
Test time.
Test over.
You slacking off on tests?